they're in their stance and we're in the open, right? So we're both just like kind of like in our seat. I'm going to start off with a heavy collar tie, and I'm going to try to move his head from the inside to the outside of his foot, right? So I'm just going to take this and go here, right? And try and move this head from the inside to the outside. At the same time, I'm going to try to step behind his foot, right? So if you need to take like an accessory step in, right, to make that possible, right, you can, right? Some people can just kind of like go by like kind of like navigating themselves without needing to truly like bring their feet close together. But we're just going to do these at the same time, right? So we're going to go club and step, right? At the same time, this hand is going to go and like, sometimes you don't need the hand there, but it's good practice to bring it there. So we come 1, 2, here. So if he tried to remove his leg, right, and regain his balance, that's how he would escape, right? So I want to place my hand like just a barricade where if he tries to relocate, I'll just grab it, right? Boom, boom, here. And now I can bring the leg up, straight off of the head. Now, and then a nice like leg grab position. Okay, so we're just gonna go really reposition, club and step, right? Ankle exchange. Questions?
You show one more time?
Yeah. Cool. Okay. 1, 2. Will dictate how this move works a lot more. So if I'm with my partner and they are like super wrestling stance, right? Like to the point where they're like they can check their stance. Which checking your stance is like if you can touch the ground with the top of your finger, like you are in your wrestling stance, right? So if they are truly in their wrestling stance, this move works the best, right? It's very easy to manipulate their head with clubs. It's like close to them, they're like leading head over toes, right? They're not like standing with their head on their back foot, they're standing with their head on their front foot. So it's a lot closer to you, it's a lot easier to manipulate. But if they stand up straight and they put their head more over their back foot, this becomes incredibly hard to hit, right? You have to really exaggerate this like club. So we're gonna work on more wrestling version first, and then we're gonna work on like a little bit more of a stand-up, right? So if they're down low, this is most likely to work, but one thing people sometimes do is they're very quick to remove this foot, right? Once they remove this foot, we're going to snap, right? And if you notice when we snap, our hand goes to the wrong side of the head for a front headlock, right? So we end up with our hand on the other side, which we can easily go behind the arm and arm drag. Right, so we're playing a little reaction. Like we come here, and they step out, we step back, we snap down, and then we slide through for this arm drag. If you are feeling athletic, I will give you one athletic option that I love from here, right? So we come boom, here, this hand comes down, and I go over the top, right? It's easier than you would think because they're supporting your weight. You're not doing like an aerial over them, you're just like rolling over their back, right? So boom, boom, boom.
So you're posting to do it?
Yes, so when I'm down and this hand is on the wrong side, all I'm doing is bringing my head from this side to this side and doing a little jump, right? And it's just like, how high do you take that jump? And honestly, you just need to take it high enough to clear this hand if it comes up, because I can't circle around into this single leg. He's gonna grab my leg and drive it in, and it's like what I just snapped him down for, right? So as long as when he raises his hand, I can jump over it That's all it is. Just like a chest-to-chest spin with a slight jump, head switches sides. It looks a lot crazier than it actually is. Yeah?
Is there anything you can do to check that? Or is it still in the corner? Is there anything you can do to check it? Like jump over a wall?
Yes, we can do like a very more like traditional wrestling route where this hand goes from here and does like this like little waiter on the side. And that way when he raises his hand, right, I can put my weight on it and it makes it very difficult. Where even if he grabs my leg, right, I can still backstep and fear around. So that little waiter thing is like a go behind in wrestling. It's like a very popular tool to use and it's very useful, incredibly useful. So that is always an option as well, like a traditional go behind. My like hierarchy, like I'm a crazy person, so I jump over, right? Then I would say the traditional go behind is the next safest option, and the arm drag is the easiest, but probably the least safe because arm drag leads to re-drag. So if someone arm drags me from here, right? If he gets a front head, right? Hand on the wrong side, he arm drags me, right? I can do the same technique right back and re-drag. And you kind of end up going like this circular pattern. So I would say like the go behind has a less direct route for them to win. It's a little bit more of them surviving and not letting you accomplish a goal rather than being able to counter. So coach pick, snap down, get behind. Okay? Any questions? Yes. From the top. Okay. So, boom, boom, they step out, we step back, snap down, and now however we want to get behind. Not that one. So the other one I recommend is we are here, we just go like this, right? And now you make sure you put weight through this, right? So when he tries to pick up his hand, right, it's hard, right? This is like, makes it very difficult for him to do. Where here, he could pick up his hand, pull that single leg in super easy, right? So just that small thing. And if they are able to grab your leg right from here, and come here, and this becomes very difficult for him to like hold on to. It's almost like an arm bar, shoulder lock, if he holds on to it. So, yeah, some really good options from there. Just a lot of stuff to play with. You know, find stuff that works for your game. But Pochi, snap downs, however we can find it back. Okay? Questions? No? Okay, sounds good. 1, 2. With my partner, when I snap, my hand ends up on the wrong side of the head, like by proxy of the type of snap I do, right? Whenever I snap someone, I don't snap them down, I snap them like through, right? So ideally, I want to snap them so their back gets exposed to me, right? So like I'm always like passing them by here, right? So not just like straight down to get the hands to touch, but like down and through. So if I'm able to truly snap them well, right, I don't want to have to go behind. The go behind is like something that I have to do if they resist. But ideally, I'm able to snap them through. But if they resist, and my hand ends up over here, now I can do whatever like arm drag, go behind, flip over, that is like required. So that's why my hand ends up on the wrong side and not the traditional front head. Any questions on that? Yes. Like I'm coming here, and then like spiraling my arm to like pass it off. Any other questions? No? Okay, we're gonna go against like a little bit more of like a stand-up partner now. So if they have like a really nice posture about them, And like particularly if they put their head over their back foot, right? So if someone stands like this, like head over their back foot rather than their front foot, we have like, they're a lot faster on their front foot if their head is over their back foot, right? They can pick it up because it's not weight there. Their head is over their back foot. So in that case, it's like pretty quick, so I want to get to it. And it's a lot harder to move their head because their posture is bad, right? Where if I go like this, like he has a lot more resistance than if he bent over, right? And I went like that, right? Posture like creates power within people. That's why you see like Olympic lifts come from like a place of like really great posture. So if I come here and he's postured up and I beat a brick wall, what I'm going to do is come and grab this leg, right? And ideally, I would like to pull my head around, right? So I'm like halfway to his back. Right, so from here, I can actually work on just taking the back, right? Or I end up finishing an arm wheel, right? Take a room up. But either way, I come here and I go to grab this leg and I look for the back, right? If he keeps his hand close to his hip and you miss the back here, we are looking like more like down. So we're just gonna latch onto that leg, try to make our way to the back, and if he blocks us, we're gonna dump, right? If you are like super gorilla, you can just lift them from the front, right? Like if you're here, you can just lift them up by like really hugging the leg, but that's like requires like a lot of strength. So the least strength option is just coming here, making your way to the back and slowly pressuring them down, or coming here, grabbing, and then dumping that. Any questions?
So that first option, that would be a duck under? Like you're kind of going for a duck under?
Kind of. I would say like you are attacking the leg, and like a lot of times when I do this, like I pressure them back, right? So when they pressure back in, I'm able to kind of take this position here, right? And now you can like decide to transfer it fully to the back, or you can try to run this down. But like I'm trying to use that like first attack to find a nice route to the back. Like all these things like are leading either past the guard or to the back, right? I like taking people down to really advantageous positions rather than just taking them down, right? Like where you end up really does matter a lot. So having intelligent takedowns that lead to good positioning is the key here. Okay? Any questions? Okay, let's give it a try. 1, 2. Yeah. Okay.
You can use me, coach. I'm just kidding. You're good.
I
I'm scared. Sorry.
This is just like a technical point. When we do this technique, I do not want to leave my chin up. Right? If I come here, right, just right, if I come here and I leave my chin up, he can just like this, and now it's going to be very hard for me to pick up his leg against his own arm, right? So as soon as I step in, I'm going to keep my head low and bury it, right? And this makes it much easier to hit this gap. And if he protects this and goes after my chin to lift it up, that's where I can dump easier. But both times, I'm going to bury the head, and if the elbow is not tight to the back, I'm going to slip through. But if he tries to like get under and like give me one of these, right, then I can dump him. But making sure you're hiding your chin and they're not just able to like pry you up, right? Because that's like where a lot of shots fail, is like people leave their head up and they get their head taken off, right?
Coach,
Bury that head.
are you ever worried about the guillotine in that situation?
Not so much, just because I'm in here, right?
Yeah.
Where like I am buried. I am not here,
Okay.
right? I'm going from here, and then when I make my move to the back, I'm pulling them forward, which again makes this angle, and when I come up here, this makes it very hard to grab the guillotine, right? Right? This is pretty deep for him. And honestly, this is just gonna lead to me coming here and like a Von flip or something. Guillotine on the wrong side. So as long as we are like hiding, and then when we come through, we break our posture and like bring our head back up and in, like we're looking towards the back here, we should be like guillotine. I have a bad neck. I hate when people touch my head. So like anytime I enter a fray, like I make sure my head position is like okay, where they're not just going to be able to rip my face off. Any other questions? No? Okay, we're gonna go into like our drilling section of the night. So we're just practicing takedowns, nice and easy, no resistance, 1 for 1, but we're going to transition to the ground, back to our feet. So I wanna see 2 grounded people becoming 2 people on their feet. So we should never have like a 1 up, 1 down, unless like we just both touch and then one stands up and the other is on his weight. Right? But one guy should never stay on his feet for like 2 turns. Right? So if I'm with my partner, right, and I do this takedown to them, right, I am coming down, right, and he's going to have to like turn, right, and stand back up. And now when he takes me down, right, he is coming down, right, and now we're 2 grounded people, and I have to make my way back up, right? Nice and easy, low resistance, just flowing through, feeling his